What's up, guys? This is Clark Farhenthold with VegasOdds.com. You know what? Been looking over the numbers this week, been prying through games to see what I want to give you, and I think I found the perfect game for this week, folks. Traveling back out to the world of college football, not giving a futures, but a game pick for week one. We're going to have a matchup between an AAC team that represented the college football playoff last year. I'm sure everyone knows who I'm talking about. And an SEC team last year that shocked some and how they finished. That would be Cincinnati versus Arkansas in the week one matchup. I'm going to go ahead and be tailing the Cincinnati Bearcats at +6 in this matchup. I'm going to go over a couple things, make sure everyone understands where I'm coming from. Let's dive right into it. The biggest thing that I like for this Cincinnati Bearcats team on offense is the fact that they bring back their entire offensive line. This is a team that will be able, in my opinion, to manhandle in some extent the Arkansas defense, which only brings back 4 starters from last year's squad. I think that's a huge upper hand for them in that regard. As well, with an established offensive line, I think it's where everything derives from for a team. Cincinnati will be able to continue to build off the 2021 season that showed them 37th in yards off line of scrimmage, also showing their efficiency as well. 15th in rushing play success rate in 2021. I expect them to continue to move off that number and get better as the season goes on. As well, in the backfield, Ryan Montgomery will be featured more heavily. He averaged 6.8 yards per carry last season. I know you can say they play in a weaker conference, but the numbers are the numbers. And again, it looks even better when you consider the fact Arkansas is a team only returning 4 starters on the defensive side of the ball. Don't think they'll be gelled week one. I think that plays to Cincinnati's advantage to be able to move the ball and score and keep things close if it did turn into a shootout. Next up, Arkansas's advantage in this game you would think would be in the skill position spot. However, I would make the argument that it's not as large as one might think it is. Arkansas will be without Treylon Burks, who has moved on to the NFL to go play for Tennessee and the Titans. That was their biggest playmaker last year. I don't know right now who their biggest guy is on the outside of that. And thus, because of that reason, Cincinnati's biggest weakness on defense is that secondary. Out and established playmaker, I don't think it plays into that big of a thing for Arkansas. As well, while I like the dark horse candidate for Heisman and KJ Jefferson at quarterback, he's someone that some may consider a RPO merchant. A lot of his success last year came on these short RPO screens that would result in a lot of yak for him. If you look at his numbers according to PFF, Pro Football Focus, he is not the best downfield passer. That presents a little bit of trouble for him. As a result, I don't think that Arkansas will be able to take as much of an advantage through the air as people think they might. So thus, I think things would stay a little bit closer regardless as a result of that. And my third thing that I really like in this matchup as well, folks, is that Cincinnati's defense against the rush, I think, will favor them against Arkansas. Arkansas as a team last season ran the ball 63% of the time. That will not work against Cincinnati. Against opponents last season, Cincinnati held opponents to 3.7 yards per carry. That is a small number. That's top 20 last year in the NCAA. As well, they were top 20 in the NCAA in defensive success rate. They did not allow teams to move the ball on the ground. And for a team that's an identity last year seemed to be establishing the run, I'm assuming they will want to come out and do that again. I don't see it happening. As well, I know some people may say Cincinnati lost a couple starters on the defensive end. Yes, of course, Sauce Gardner among one of the biggest names. But in the front four, they get Noah Porter, a 4-star from Ohio State. They'll be coming to play in the defensive line. Expect him to have a big impact on this game and not allowing Arkansas to run the ball like they would like to. On top of that, if we look at the linebacker position for Cincinnati, we have the Pace brothers. Obviously, there's Deshaun Pace. He's a freshman coming off a great season for Cincinnati. He will be back for a second year. Expect big things out of him. A dark horse All-American kind of guy if you want to consider it, but who knows. And beside him now will be his brother in Ivan Pace. He transfers in from Miami, Ohio. 125 tackles last season in the MAC. Was Defensive Player of the Year last year. You add those two together, I think it's a very solid front seven that will slow Arkansas down. So look, folks, I know it's popular to pick the SEC. I know people think the SEC is the dominant case in this one, but I think Cincinnati keeps it very close. I was very tempted to almost take the money line for Cincinnati in this game. I think there's a very good chance if they win it. If they do, it should not be a shock to many people. Cincinnati's a talented program. But again, just rolling back through these points, I think Cincinnati will be able to move the ball with a relative effectiveness because of the established offensive line they have. Bringing back all of your starters is huge. And again, Ryan Montgomery in the backfield, I expect to have a big day, especially like I pointed out, going up against Arkansas, who only retains 4 starters for last season. That's important to remember. They have not gelled yet. That will take a little bit of time. Secondly, Cincinnati's weakness on defense is the secondary. I don't think Arkansas's pass catchers and their throwing game will be able to take advantage of that due to lacking a true number 1 wide receiver at this this time. And because of KJ Jefferson's unfortunate shortcomings on throwing the ball deep, of course they will try. We'll see how that goes, but I'm betting on Cincinnati right now to make the adjustment rather than Arkansas figuring that out. And finally, Arkansas on offense, they love to run the ball as well too. Cincinnati simply doesn't let that happen. One of the best teams in the country last year at both in top 20 against yards per attempt and top 20 defense success rate against the run. That's not a great combination for a team in Arkansas who again last year ran the ball at 63% of the time. So go ahead, folks, take Cincinnati at +6. I love this play. Hopefully the next time we see each other again, we'll all be a little bit richer. So for VegasOdds.com, I am Clark Farhenthold. Have a good one. Enjoy college football being back, folks.